Go!
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Go Mango Tokucast. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and today I'm all alone because I accidentally recorded this late. I fell asleep when we had to record, but that's neither here nor there. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 22 of Kamen Rider Build. There's gotta be at some point, Kamen Rider Build has to stop raising the bar. Because, there's just, it keeps going. There's no way to go further, and they just keep going. I don't understand. Last episode, I didn't think that they could top how well they handled, the idea of, sort of the I guess PTSD sort of aspect behind Sento using the hazard trigger. And in between, I did have the context of the the YouTube special. It's only part 1, but I've seen a bit of the YouTube special, and I don't know when they're releasing more, but it happens in between the events of last episode and this episode. So if you haven't checked that out, I think it's subbed on the Genmu Corp subs site. But it didn't help inform that much in this episode, but it sort of helped inform Sento's demeanor, because he didn't really keep at that same dour, head down sort of feeling he had last episode. He went back to being, and they even explored it here. He's sort of pretending to be happy again when everyone can see that he obviously isn't. And I don't know. I just, that sort of helped inform the tone of those scenes. We got even more emotional depth and character complexity when Sento decided to bring Misora in on the plan and sort of tell her hey, build is sort of our thing, therefore you have some responsibility in this. And if you haven't seen the episode, he tells her that she needs to kill him in order to make the hazard trigger disengage. And for him to be at such a low point, to get there, for his lesson learned to be that, it's really telling at where his character's at now. And I feel like it'll be a journey for him to sort of come back from that. So I'm glad that not everything is all fully wrapped up, because they still need to deal with, Sento really doing that to Misora. I mean, sure, I guess she should have some responsibility. No one's hands are ever going to be clean, and I think that is sort of a cornerstone of what Build's sort of premise is. And but just to put that on her and her not to have to do it, that's gotta mess her up, because she was on the brink of killing him, because he almost killed the other guy, Grease. Honestly, I didn't know who was gonna win, but then the episode title was something victory, or sad victory or something, and I had a feeling it was gonna lean toward the Sento side, because obviously, I guess that's the only way the narrative would have made sense to go, especially at the end with the takeover. But it was cool to see it unfold, especially intercutting between Sento dealing with the hazard trigger stuff with Misora. That tugged at your heartstrings. I felt like that was really strong. But to the point of Greece, I did not think that would be those flashbacks would be as strong, and they were. Just to inform the audience that Greece is actually fully in control of all his memories, and he's just been trying to pretend that he lost his memories to protect his friends. That's some good writing. I mean, the writing was kind of on the walls there with that one, but I did like how it went. And to see him sort of begrudgingly acknowledge it at the end, and sort of memorialize Blue Guy, that was really nice. And it really warmed me up to his support characters, because I was hesitant on them before, just because they did feel like comic relief, but in a way now that it makes a lot of sense, and it's a side of them that really helps to, I guess, elevate Grease's character. This episode was filled with a lot of like juicy stuff to get into, and not even to talk about the forms, because again, I love that whale jumbo jet. I don't know why. It has to be the wings, I think. I don't know yet. But then we got to see some UFO Tora. We got to see Helicopter Rose again. And then, like, the jet giraffe thing. That was neat. But yeah, and then that reversal at the end, when you know, you think everything's sort of lost, they like very neatly, they saw an opportunity to resolve one conflict, but then also resolve another at the same time. Like, this episode really, like, that moment at the end when Banjo saves Sento was really a double duty moment. It informed us that, like, Trigger can be stopped and can be, like, overcome, and 2, Banjo has overcome his suit breaking down or something. I mean, he just had to hit his chest or whatever, but that's cool. It reminded me a lot of when Mach used the form that mixed between Drive and Mach. So that was cool. It was like breaking the barriers of the suit and fighting anyway. That was really cool to see, and he came back unscathed in the end. That I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then at the end, the very, very end, the reversal, I deeply enjoyed seeing, you know, Brad Stank playing both sides. I don't understand how he's able to keep joining other people's ranks and being this deceiver of everyone, but it was cool to see. And that reversal at the end, I was not expecting either. All their forces had been moved. Like, you saw that, okay, like, I think the show sort of misdirected you. They were like, okay, if this happens, we're gonna invade Toto. But then they go the complete opposite direction and say, no, now Hokuto's being invaded. Or wait, no, the one that they were in, the one that Brad's in right now. And then they get invaded, and revealing a new rider too. Next week we're gonna even see the two brothers or something, the two that form into one. It's a whole thing. I can't wait to see them in action, because I guess that's sort of going to be the main conflict now that everything's against Toto now. Seito, Hokuto, and Toto. I forget which one's which, but I know Toto is the, build side. The only thing that I sort of wanted from this episode is we got some of the reactions from Toto, but we didn't necessarily get anything from the other nation. Actually, I don't know if they have access to, TVs and all that stuff. They are, a poorer nation, and they've funneled a lot of their money into infrastructure for their military, so their people are suffering. So I would have liked to see maybe they were sort of happy to be taken over by Toto. Maybe their quality of life would go up, but who knows? I certainly don't. And it got me to thinking, what is the longevity of, reforming Japan? Like, depending on whoever wins, right? Whoever wins and takes over the entirety of Japan, it'd be so easy for them to split into 3 separate nations again just because of that skywall. I don't know that it would actually be viable as, to remain in one. It would make more sense to be separate, but who knows? Anyways, that's really all my thoughts on this latest episode. I talked a lot more than I thought I would, but guys, yeah, again, that's it. Also, thank you for everyone that chimed into Toku Week this week. It was great. There was one video every week. If you want to check that out, it'll be linked in the end card. And yeah, I know that Build has come out after Sentai these past few go-arounds, but that's going to change. The watch-alongs are going to go back to Monday, and the reviews are going to go back to Tuesday. We just had to shift it around because we were going to do Toku Week and the new stuff. It always had to come first. But hey, don't worry. Once Build ends and a new Kamen Rider begins, you'll get your turn. You'll get your turn in the spotlight. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Keep it juicy.